Preguntan por mí, ella lo niega. Nunca sale, pero si es por mí, ella le llega.
Ya me acosté a dormir, pero si es pa' chingar, levántame. Tengo chavos con cojones, chapéame. Yo sé que tú también, perdóname. No fue el destino, nada, fui yo que te llamé. Qué rica te ves en mini, trajecito bikini. Ferrari, no le gustan los Lamborghini. Mucha pasta, carbones, fettuccini. Las escorpios son peligro, lo dijo Mela y Rumini. Ey, una dima la monté en la Rolls Royce y le puse John Chimmy. Yo no soy malo, na bebé, eso es un gimmick. Pero el sol de PR calienta más que el de Fini. Ella lo sabe, pa' Milán de compra, después pa' Rimini. Son marinos, todo por debajo del agua submarino. La maña multicolor cristalino, le quité los valentinos. Nos fuimos, después se vino. Mala, ey, la puse mala. Los golpes en la sala, en el baño me cola. Se te regó la máscara, I don't know, yo no sé nada, yo no sé nada. Quiere Coco Chanel, Louis Vivo Tega. La puse en 6'9", no la mega. Ese culo tan lindo y tú con novio, baby, eso no pega, baby, eso no pega. Chingamos con mis prendas puestas, quedo ciega. Preguntan por mí, ella lo niega. Ey, nunca sale, pero si es por mí, ella le llega.
Ella le llega, ey, ella le llega, ey. Ya sabe que la cuna es de México. Julieta Venegas toma Genesis, pero no juega Sega. Preguntan por mí por ahí, pero ella lo niega, ey. Bebiendo bucano, fumando juca, yo me siento bacano. Yeah, mi cuello está frío, ya que Moncler y estamos en verano. Ey, me siento Luca cada vez que tiro porque no fallamos. Ey, me siento Luca Paguro ripiándote Gucci italiano. Ey, en la cama dejamos más polvo que Thanos. Ya son 4 corridos y no nos agotamos. Yeah, walk con el fuego y lo mezclamos. Clock 40 en tu cartera, Ferragamo. Ey,
Quiere Coco Chanel, Louis Vivo Tega.
yeah, la puse en 6'9", no la mega. Ese culo tan lindo y tú con novio, baby, eso no pega, baby, eso no pega.
Chingamos con mis prendas puestas, quedo ciega.
Preguntan por mí, ella lo niega.
Ey, nunca sale, pero si es por mí, ella le llega. Ella le llega.
La gente está bellaqueando y aún así la gente está mirando. La observan neta bailando, la gente la tiene vacilando y sale.
Papi, yo soy tu gatito, mami.
Sale con su té de cerecita, el licor de tamarindo es lo que necesita.
Are you vibing over there?
Un poquito de confianza, la
No
gente
catchy
siempre
vibing.
critica. Ey, la gente siempre critica. Sale y no le importa que la sigan, la red es privada y aún así todos le tiran. Lo que la critican es gente medio mierdilla. Si vieras el pegue que se carga la morrilla. Beba, sabe que está muy linda, no hace falta que la vean. Si no le gustas tú te dice que no estás soltera. Mucha liga para ti, es mucha liga para cualquiera. No es para cualquiera. Ey, no me lo andes correteando, que para ti haya mucha cosa, nene. Si no sabes qué está pasando, ey, es porque todavía tú estás muy nene. No me la anden correteando. Ella es linda pero mete olas si andas molestando. Ey, está jugando. No le importa si es con nene o nena, ella está volando.
Guarda el silencio que ya va a empezar. Julieta no va a parar. Esa chamaquita, flow que no se le quita. Tiene muchas ganas de salir a bellaquear.
Ey, ¿dónde están los que quieren perreo? Julieta sabe que ese es su deseo. No sabe nada, puesto al bellaqueo. Julieta no te tira nada, pues que estás bien feo. Ey, es otra cosa. Ella es bella cute, mami es linda y peligrosa. Ella no es maestra y da clase a la envidiosa. Tome nota rápido que ve cámara y posa. Ey, posa. Tu cuerpo a lo galactic. Ella pa' perrear se sabe toda la táctica. Tácticamente está mirando para ver si hay alguien decente.
Yo guys, what's up? We're gonna go ahead and start in 2 to 3 minutes, give or take. If y'all got your trading squad, let them know we're dialed in, and yeah, we'll let this song transition and then get to the next one. But let's do it. Let's go.
Estás tan diferente, ahora miras distinto a la gente. Creo que estás un poco cambiada, ya no sé ni lo que eres. Por eso estás tan sola. Ya no me... ¡Eso es!
It goes crazy. How do you trade like this, dude? This is wild. All right, man. All right. Okay, we got the energy high. We got the people going. But let's we needed to get, gotta get the frequency high. Gotta feel good, energized. And then now we lock in. All right, now time to get the proper plan in mind. Get the emotional state. Now the physical state aside, now we gotta get the emotional state centered, so we can go and execute this the way we're supposed to. Obviously, determine the risk that we need to determine, get into the right flow state. So that should activate you. If somehow your frequency did not go higher after just the vibes, then we really got some work to do. But let's get into it, guys. Let's look at some charts. We had a very busy day yesterday. Very busy day. Hello. So I added 2 playlists. But if you like the vibe of the last song specifically, this is actually Kevin's playlist. So here's Kevin's playlist. This one's sick. He sent it to me a few days ago. Yeah, the boy got me right yesterday. If you're in Chicago and you need a barber, hit up my boy Jay. Solid. Let me know. Okay. So let me say good morning, buenos días a todos. ¿Cómo están por aquí? What's up? Got a nice sell on NAS 100 this morning. Went a 3R. Nice. Did notice that NQ1 was lagging a lot, and honestly got very lucky, and I didn't get stopped out on NAS. Something to jot down in trading. Yeah, make sure you journal that ASAP. Make sure you're making the most out of that. Sometimes we get away with it, but we don't want to rely on getting away with trades that technically weren't the exact entry model or whatever the plan might have been. So we definitely want to make sure that we're going about that the right way. What's up, Joe? Carlos, Eric, ¿qué tal, chicos? Carlos G. Rodriguez Ramsey. Baby, eso no pega. Yeah. What's up, Ray? Machiavelli. Happy Thursday, Puerto Rico. Morning, Samuel. The Hills. What's up? Ali. Buenas vibras. Yes, sir. F. Dichoso. Jack. I understand every word of the song. Sounds like a vibe. Oh, yeah. In New York City, we got Matt in here. Justinia, Luis, Juan, Edwin, Edgar. Playlist. I dropped the playlist right there. You're good to go. Se quedo. What's up, Zoe? I was looking at GU, 6 o'clock candlestick for liquidity and moved up. Now showing demand. I'll definitely look at majors. We got a little bit of everything. My son's an EDM producer. Hey, nice. That's what's up. It's a good time to be that right now. We live. What's up, Steven? Sheesh, been a minute. Got Gio in here, Haiti, Vera, Caesar. All right, y'all are locked in. We got our first 100 on the stream, bright and early. So yesterday, let's recap a little bit what we've done so we can do the right things today. Yesterday, we took advantage of, honestly, there was a lot happening yesterday. So not surprising, FOMC day always brings opportunity. I went live in the school community here yesterday during FOMC. So if you missed that, I mean, you know, we won't dwell on the past, but let's just say don't miss the next one. And what I'm going to do now is let me give you guys the invite because I know, you know, some of you want to lock in here and watch the free course and all that good stuff. So let's see, where is this invite? Boom. Free community. Okay, here you go, guys. And if you're new to my stream and you're just here for the first time, you tripped and fell into the stream, say what up. We'll have the whole squad here welcome you in. So yesterday we were waiting on basically the Australian or New Zealand to take a position on this long. We weren't fully convinced on the higher time frame in terms of longevity of the bullish reaction because of how the higher high was not the greatest on the 1 hour. The 15 minute looked good, so we took a shortened 2 risk reward. And so on stream, I know a lot of the squad here locked in their profits. I was trading Aussie and NQ at the same time, and yeah, so my trade, actually this was wrong, it's a little lower, but anyways, this hit a 2R on paper, and then this missed my exit on my futures by 0.5 pip. So then I missed my exit and I took home like quarter R. So, you know, it happens. It sucked, but it is what it is. And just so you guys understand that if it happens to you, it's not like you're cursed. No, I mean, maybe we are, but we live to trade another one, and it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, mine missed by a fraction. You guys kind of blew up the chat because I know a lot of you locked it in, but it did miss me. So it is what it is. And we had the liquidity, the trend line liquidity as one of the targets to sweep. It did that. So and then from there, it was it. If you, worst case, stop break even or in profit. So that was with Australian. And then we had, after it kept going down, we didn't take NZD. We didn't take anything here. We were waiting because Euro and GBP USD were more bullish. And so as the market was, working its way down, end of New York session, which is a slightly unusual time to usually trade this, the reason that right now we're seeing different sometimes we kind of see the markets have volatility at different times. It has to do with the fact that we're seeing tariffs negotiations with Asian markets. So China, Trump, all of this kind of causes slightly different times of volatility. So if you are in these circumstances, not always, but in these circumstances, if you're seeing your entry happening at slightly odd times, it's not impossible for it to work out. It's actually, there's a pretty good chance that it still makes sense due to volatility that's based off outside of circumstances, like what we're dealing with right now with tariffs. So with something like this, we had, and you know, we posted it here. Let's see, I think I sent it in here under the Tradetopia trades. Let's see, load up. So Euro versus GU, and then I said, looks like one of these wants to give that buy setup soon. And as you guys know, based on at least my entry model, we were looking at, let's see here, seeing how price action was going to start to let up to the downside. So we wanted to see basically which one of these is going to be the least bearish, right? That is going to position us to be able to take a position. That was redundant, but that was it. It's true, I guess. So by the time we saw this drop down right around that 886 with Euro, we saw something similar happen with GBP USD. So regardless of whichever one you took, again, we are counter trend trading here. So we had, once this went to this area, and you guys know, if you've gone through the Smart Money Playbook, our entry model here is based off of these last points of supply. So where we've seen support before, again and again and again, these are our targets. So the previous levels of liquidity are ideal entry model, signature entry model, and then this hit the exit and went beyond to hit the 3R. And then I know some of you took GBP USD as well. You just like the price action better. And this also, if you did take this one, then regardless of whatever you decided, you still crushed beyond a 3R. And so yeah, good to see you guys doing that. And I love that we're seeing people here actually execute, because you're not going to learn if you're just watching and watching. Even if you're trading demo, like, take the positions, go through the motions, get comfortable taking action. So we have, you know, you guys locked it in, GU, smash TP on challenge and real account, small wins. So yeah, and shout out back to you guys. Y'all flooded with passing fundeds. I think some of you with futures, some of you with CFD. So shout out to all of you that are just putting in the work and showing up every day. So now, and I'm going over currencies first, which is a little unusual because I am liking the way the market's setting up here a lot better right now. So we saw a nice liquidity capture with GBP USD. So GU swept highs. GU is the most bullish out of the bunch. So if we're gonna get good positions on GBP USD, it's gonna be around here. At the moment, we're still seeing lower highs, lower lows. So I would love for us to get higher highs here. If we can get higher highs, get great demand, then come back to this area for buys, this would be fantastic. Hold on one second, guys. Let me get you on the mic. Why have a mic if I'm not gonna fucking use it? All right, hold on. Okay, here we go. So can we share some setups we're looking at? I don't think the YouTube feature will allow you to drop a link. I think you might be able to drop it with, if like the way, you know, if you put a space in between like the dot and the com, something like that, maybe that'll work, but we'll see. So GU right now has the best potential to become a setup Entonces aquí libra dólar tiene el mejor potencial para convertirse en una oportunidad, pero dejen que se convierte. So let's wait on this one, okay? Now let's switch our eyes over to indices. You guys know we live in these indice trenches. This is where it goes down. So let's see it. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, let me open this up here. Anyone else have like that song just kind of low key running in the back of your head? I got those horns just like in there. All right, let's see where this thing's having a hard time loading. French bank holiday for Euro today. Yep. Mega popped the Goldie chart into this community. I think I responded. I don't know if you saw it. Okay, so we saw indices, rip again, clear the highs that we had seen earlier, and I think we're really in the trajectory of this April 2nd. I think this is really the target that we're kind of looking to go for before we get a higher time frame reversal. So I think we're going to just keep climbing until we get to this point at this moment. So this is what I'm seeing. Yesterday, FOMC, I feel like Dow Jones, I think we got robbed. I personally feel like there was a heist on us specifically. We had the drop from here, so it played out of the order block in the beginning of the liquidity sweep. I wouldn't have taken this anyways. So, I mean, I guess it wasn't going to work because I wanted my entries based off of previous levels of supply. And the RR here, I didn't like it. I didn't want to have a 150 point stop. So I guess either way, it wasn't going to work out for me. And, that's part of the process. But the market's done a good job of just this swept liquidity to the retail, the buying side, the sell side, and the buy side liquidity on both ends. And then from there, we've just continued to run. So during Asian session, we saw this massive run, which took Bitcoin to 100K on some exchanges, which is really cool. And so as we see this happen now, I think the market got pretty efficient and inefficient because we saw a nice little drop right there. And then look at that. What are the chances? A little push down, gets below a couple hours of Asian session liquidity, consolidation, and then just rips. So depending on what NQ, NASDAQ, depending on what that looks like, we may have a buying opportunity here as well. So we'll be on the lookout for that. You see the last push down before the market leaves in a balance, continues, very bullish structure. And then what we saw was the market started during London session, move sideways. We saw it pick up again, more momentum, breaching 41,600. After it did this, though, it lost steam, lured in buyers, and then just absolutely melted through. And the market did this specifically to break through these highs and these previous highs from April 3rd. So it was definitely a run of liquidity over here. And now, getting back to these levels, we're kind of creating a little bit more of support, playing up a structure. So, more buyers being lured in at this time. So this is what Dow Jones looks like. Básicamente aquí, chicos, tenemos captura de liquidez, imbalance, estructura alcista. Y igualmente aquí, captura de liquidez, eliminando vendedores minoristas. Baja el mercado y esperamos aquí una venta. Se ve bien, pero tenemos que considerar NASDAQ y S&P 500 todavía. Entonces, esperen. So let's consider NASDAQ first and S&P before we have a conclusive decision on what it is that we're going to do. Now, NAS as well, very similar. Very, very similar. We caught an NQ sell-off here during FOMC after the press conference. We got really close. I actually have that on the Zoom recording, so I'll see if I can upload that. But we had a nice little mitigation, 2R. I love the play-by-play that we had on that session because I know we were able to see it get, I think we were maybe 5 points, less than 10 points away from getting stopped out. But walking through it, managing emotions and all that good stuff, able to see it through. And then from there, the market just went crazy. So from here, the market, NASDAQ was just leading and pushing. So here now, we have a very similar structure, at least for the buys. You can see you have this sweep down. Entonces vemos aquí la captura de liquidez de esa sesión asiática. So we see this push. Okay, you see it right there. Okay, market runs. So we have a similar setup here. And now the question becomes, is it going to be Dow Jones or is it going to be NASDAQ? So we're going to just wait, be patient on this to get a good idea. That'll be probably a market execution, watching price action unfold. And then from here, we can see how does the market look on the selling side versus Dow Jones. So they look similar, but not quite the same. Dow, in my opinion, right now, it looks like it did a much more aggressive sweep to the high. So I wonder if we're going to... I wonder if we're going to see Dow sell off here first, or sell out of here last. So if Dow Jones on New York Open, if we see this rip and it gets here at a slower pace, this is what I would want to sell. NQ is not really giving the same setup. It's not quite the same. It does kind of break above most of this, like a lot of the range. So it does make that move, but here we have it making kind of a bigger difference. So we're going to keep our eye out on this. We have New York Open in 4.5 minutes. Me gusta el imbalance en 15 en IM para vender en 41.550. So 41.550. Okay, yeah, nice. Creo que puedes vender desde esta área, totalmente. So yeah, with Dow, if you take a sell here in this imbalance, definitely way more conservative, more likely that you get in. There is a chance it maybe sneaks above this and makes the move. But I actually do like a short right here. I like this one. Yeah, these are all counter trends. So, of course, having a more conservative exit is definitely, honestly, I might not even go 2R. I might just keep it at 1.8. Just because of this is now leaning more towards probability rather than desire. Indices are so bullish fundamentally. That is a fact. Dow is US 30, isn't it? LOL, I get confused. Dow Jones is US 30. Yes. YM here is yo mama. I need to grow up, guys. I'm fucking 30. Yeah, YM is the... Oh, God. What's wrong with me? I had to. It was impulsive. I needed to get the impulse out, at least here, than during my trade. No one was ready for that one. So yeah, we'll see what we got here. In your mama's buys. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, Jack, I love you. I can look at gold. Yeah, I should probably do that instead of whatever I'm doing right now. Let's look at gold. So for metals, okay. I like the sells on gold. Sells looking like a snack. Did anyone buy silver yesterday? I shared this one. Damn, when did I talk about this one? Tuesday, maybe? I missed this one. I don't know what I was doing. But, yeah, I totally missed this one, and this one popped off. This is such a good one. Man. I think I had this on the trade ideas in the Tradetopia trades. This was so good. This smacked, man. This went up to 6R almost. Anyone's what? Yo, Neri, what's good? What's good, Neri? The legends in the house. Good to see you here. Yeah, let me just, I don't want to talk hype here. So I do remember sending out a silver idea somewhere. Dang. Maybe it was the Cinco de Mayo setups. Maybe I just went over it. Looks like I think I just went over it instead. All right, whatever. Let me start to build out our ideas for today. So it's May 8th. Tradetopia trades. May 8th. May 8th, 2025. Remember, guys, if you do want to join the community, then click the link that was supposed to be pinned, but apparently I don't know how to do this. All right, here we go. If you want to join the community, wait, it is pinned. Wait, what? Oh, hi, Mylen. Her hand wave was pinned. Okay, what's up? All right, well, there's a link somewhere. What? Okay, here we go. Yo, my bad, Mike. But my Dow Yo Mama is delayed. Yeah. Okay. If it's delayed for you, on TradingView, if you want the most active indices, like for futures, it's like a $7 upgrade. However, if you are trading futures like a prop firm, or if you have your own live account for futures, then you'll have the live feed. So it's up to you on how you want to go about that. I think $7 is probably worth it, but that's just me. And so let me go to dual screen. You guys know how we do it. When we have New York open, we want to make sure we're just aware of structure here and how the market's moving along. As much as I liked the sell on Dow, we actually might be selling NQ. Is that going to be a recurring joke? As much as I'd like to sell Yo Mama, no, that's just fucked up. All right, we're not going to continue that one. It does look like if we see, and that's just so out of context, someone's going to clip that and I'm going to go to jail. It looks like we're much more bullish on YM here. So Dow, at least it started off pumping. So let's give it some time. This could change, right? This could change. So if we see, let's say this could just flip and then all of a sudden we have NQ getting here first. But if it doesn't and we get here, NQ gets here last, then I would look to short this as well. So what you can do, since there is time, if you want to be prepared, you can figure out what your lot size or your contract size is going to look like on both. So, for example, you have it ready for either or. So let's say the market gets to here, this zone, and you want to take a short, then it's going to be a lot easy to just go, okay, cool, I already need to throw 5 contracts at NQ, or, I don't know, maybe 10 at YM, or whatever it's going to look like for you. So if you're ready, a wise man once said, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. Okay, let's see what we're saying in here. Silver was Tuesday. Oh, Nancy's on it. Okay. What's up, Paul Song? What's up, Christian? Neri Snipes. Yes. Yup. I like you just the way you are, Mike. Thanks, Vaughn. Hey, how is the new book while we wait? Transparently, I'm about just a few pages in. It's good, though. It is good. If you want to kind of like, it's more about, I guess, setting a different standard for yourself and finding the anchors to do that. So I can't quite say I'd recommend it yet, but I probably will. Mike, cuando no están correlaciones, se toman individual. Sí. Así sí. Mm-hmm. So this is interesting. Dow Jones is holding up here. It's like not budging. So let me make sure it's not frozen. Okay, yeah, no, that's valid. So what does this tell you? What does this show you? If we look at Dow and NQ, this is basically giving us signs, at least right now, things can always change, but at least right now, that there's a good chance that Dow Jones is going to hold this structure if it drops, because NASDAQ is definitely doing a way better job starting this off bearish. So we may see this keep pushing higher first. If Dow gets to here first, then I'm definitely not going to sell this. So we'll keep it like this for now, and we'll wait. Okay. Here we go. There's a lot size calculator in community. Yeah, and also if you guys go through the Traders Launchpad, I linked a calculator in there as well. Oil sells around 60. I can take a look. What's up, Gio? Gil? What's good, gang? Could you possibly look at natural gas? I could look at natural gas. But before I do that, I wanted to go over gold. We were doing a quick check-in with indices. However, gold for me looks like it kind of left a pretty good chance for a short right here. We see a buildup of retail sales throughout New York session yesterday, all throughout this area. And then as Asian session picked up, we see a nice little sweep of liquidity. Beautiful. And then this went ahead, and I think we can see a good short right in here. This is pretty textbook. We see it continue to drop. We could break below here around like in a couple hours before London session starts. And then we've traded below that for basically 8 hours. So this for me is enough to take a position on gold around here. We'll look at this. We've seen a lot of reversals around this area, this price. You've seen, equal highs build out. So around here, I like it. We can trade into this imbalance. I think going into this zone looks good. So a counter trend to R. It's with the trend on the 15, but it is against the higher time frame momentum. So now, is there a chance this could go even lower? Absolutely. There's all this imbalance here. There's a chance that we could work our way, basically down to this zone. That is definitely a possibility. If gold would have held this low for longer, like let's say we would have just kind of maintained this structure, I think I would have preferred that, and I would have been more down to kind of hold this out. But because if you're looking at the 8 hour right now, we dropped down and then kind of lost that momentum, and we haven't quite finished New York or Euro, like London session. We're kind of in that switch over. So wait a minute. Yeah, we did. So, or the 8-hour candle just started. So, you know, I think I'm okay with kind of just taking a position, getting a nice little something over here. Honestly, we can take this to, I'd say, a 2.5. And the reason I say that is because we have some imbalance over here as well. So we can take this into the zone, maybe a little under. We'll say like right there, 2.4-ish. This will be my exit. If your trading plan is to take this to a 2R, you have a fixed RR, follow that. You don't need to do everything that I do. And then play out of that position. So let's see if we can get a nice mitigation. But yes, this is a gold sell. Let me drop that in here. Gold. So ongoing updates here. Okay. Now let's update a little bit here with indices. We're seeing finally Dow start to drop. Lured in buyers just a little bit longer, now pushing back. Nas still with that bearish momentum. So continuing to see this in the downside. And then you also can hear signature Chicago sirens that are never ending in the background. 410, 41, 410. Paul Song, what were you looking for? And are those prices your prices off of your broker, or are those off of the futures data feed? But yeah, I'm not looking to do anything in this for Dow. Dow is so bullish compared to Nas. If anything's gonna sell, it would be NASDAQ. But up here for me, based on how I like to approach this. So our best bet, cleanest setup I see right now is on gold. Let's look through a few more things. USD JPY has started to pick up quite a bit, working its way back up to here. Also had a sell idea on USD JPY way over here. We had a nice, hold on, let me switch this over. We had a nice sweep of these highs. This needs to be toned down a little bit. Background, let's say 7. Okay. So we see it sweep, work its way down. I don't think we mitigate this quite yet. So let's see if we can work our way up to here. And then I'm looking at this off the 4 hours. So I think we can get something like this. This is kind of what I'm waiting for. Okay, something like that. So here is USD JPY 4 hour. And then if you're trading futures, then you're going to want to flip. It's going to look the opposite. So it's 6J, and then kind of flip it around. Trump speaks in 20 minutes. Anything can happen. That is a fact. Orange folder. I mean, it's Trump, so it could get crazy, or if it's an orange folder, it probably won't do too much. But well, hold on. It's an orange folder on what? On what? From what's the source? Forex Factory or some other one? Because there's a red folder here on my end. So this should be fun. It's red. It just changed to red. Ah, shit. It's going down. Trump versus China. Orange folder because of Orange Man. Y'all funny. Okay. So yeah, then we got to be ready for some dollar volatility. USD CHF also almost creating a higher high here. And again, I look at structure differently than I'd say probably maybe most people, but just seeing price go above the previous high is not enough for me to confirm that structure, the trend has changed. In my opinion, this is a liquidity sweeping event, but not necessarily, at least not yet, something that's changed the trend. So I need a little bit more demand up there. Otherwise, this could be a good buy setup later on, but not quite yet. USD CAD ripping. So let's check in again. So GBP USD getting pretty close. We might see the dollar weaken and see all of this pump again. There's a lot of liquidity here. So that's what we might see happening here. Okay, we can delete all this. This already went down. And looking at, for example, how these other dollar pairs are moving, it looks like we could get a short, whether it's something like NZDUSD selling out of here or AUDUSD as well. Both of these kind of drove price up to this level, mitigated this buy, this FOMC press conference pump. So they kind of closed that out. This was another Asian session setup here that could have been taking advantage of. There were so many trades yesterday. It's actually insane. Mine is still orange. Why don't I have a red folder for just refresh? Okay, cool. You guys got it. Tariff deal between UK and US. All right, got my fundamentals gang in here. Let's see. Let me do a quick check in here. What's the talk? Okay, trade deal this morning. Okay, cool. So I do see. So okay, when we're looking at NZDUSD or Australian, either or, you don't see the traditional like big pump and big drop. It's just it rises up, comes back down. And we've been trading below the previous lows here for about 7 hours. So this is good structure. Making a decision on which one of these to take. This here, usually we can see based off of just how it's moving right now. So right now we're below the 38.2 on AUDUSD, working its way down. NZDUSD trading down here as well. So if we were to compare one to the other and look at kind of where we're at, they look extremely similar. Right now, NZDUSD trading definitely below the previous lows. Australian trading so similarly. These are extremely similar. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of both work out. So I do like, if we're going to see a pump, then I like the short on NZDUSD somewhere up here. So either NZD, Australian, one of these, I think we're going to give us a nice selling opportunity. And then now to make sure that we kind of stay a bit focused. And honestly with this, considering that they both look so similar, I'm okay with giving this a little bit extra space. And let's see where we go, because we're just following the trend. So this should be able to continue the structure and continue to let this thing rip. Not that you need it to, but conservative exit would be right there, or you have this previous structure. If it's creating liquidity, like it's actually doing, I think very easily, visibly with Australian here, you're just seeing it build up like this, then it should sweep quite a bit of this. So I think that we can target a 3R especially going with the momentum on something like NZDUSD. We're about 12 minutes out from this. So here is a different setup. NZDUSD. And then if you guys are trading futures, that is 6N. Or, yeah. So this is what we got. I'll have alerts set here if we're looking at NZD. Let's see which one kind of pumps into the zone first. It might be in real time. So what I'll do is I'll do split screen here on both. Get these ready. All right, here we go. Okay, so we got this all set. We've seen NAS still working its way down, so very, very bearish. Dow Jones as well, working its way down, but definitely not at the same capacity. So if we do work our way down to here, my buy opportunity is looking like it's going to be with Dow Jones, with YM. So here, let me go 15 minute. So we got a lot going on over here. We got, and then after this is basically all that's scheduled for today for the Trump speaking. From here, then tomorrow we have more pound news and then Canadian dollars. Depending on how it goes today, though, we may have Trump speaking again tomorrow. I'm going to post this first. So NZDUSD, actually, let me just screenshot this here. I'll do the dual screen screenshot. And then this one's, I mean, similar. So taking a trade somewhere over here. A bit more room. Let this thing take some of this liquidity somewhere in here. Go for a little 3R action. Here we go. So we have AUDUSD versus NZDUSD. Okay, posted. Oh, and then I gotta add the indices in here. If you are not in the community, then go ahead and I'll go ahead and add you guys right now in a second. So we have leaning for YM buys or NQ sells here. Okay. So YM. Okay. Edited. And then y'all are set there. The link to join is up top. That run this morning's got me coughing. All right, let me let you guys in here. Y'all are knocking. Okay, what's up? Arlie, welcome in. Lily, welcome in. David, welcome in. I don't know. Oh, okay, that's from me. Okay, yeah, you're good. And this profile looks a little sus. All right, cool. All right, picking up a little momentum, guys. We are about 7.5 minutes out from the open. And then I think there was another question. There was someone asked me about oil. I have such a love-hate relationship with oil. All right. What y'all saying here? Bloke just wakes up and chooses violence. Can't see your AUDUSD chart? Really? Why not? Yo, let's get this into 200. We're just shy. Come on, send an invite out. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button. I see y'all subscribing. Can you help him? It's all good, bro. So Johnny just got back from Asia and doesn't remember how to use technology anymore. With that spike also, this is where we might see gold get to these levels. So they're all kind of matching right now. If we looked at, AUD and NZD and all that good stuff, this is slightly more bullish than the other ones. You were seeing this is around a little bit above that 38.2, whereas we're looking at AUD and NZD kind of chilling here. Only shows NZD? Okay, hold on. Let me change the link. Don't worry. We'll make adjustments here. Still? All right, I think it should be good. All right, perfect. We're going to go there. Beautiful. This cooking's getting ready. About 5 minutes out. We got alerts set for that. Australian. No respect. We got gold over here. All right, so we'll see how this one goes, guys. Like I think we'll be good to see these rip. I wonder if we're going to get them all at once. And then we were looking at a position over here as well before. So we've seen the sweep, the drop. Worst case, this goes all the way up to here. Do you think a buy on gold around 33.51 would be too aggressive? 33.51. I mean, it's not my trade by any means. Like I kind of see what you're saying. Are you talking about this, like in this imbalance, or like a sweep here, chopping it up? On this chart. Okay, let's see. I'm assuming this is the setup you're talking about, though. Either way. I wouldn't take this. I could see it. I could see it, but that's not a quality. Like, it's not an A+ setup for me, so I won't take that. Like, we trade above here for maybe like 40 minutes or so. Sure. But it's just not. That ain't it for me. I'd rather just kind of take a higher probability play. Entonces, yeah. Entonces, chicos, para darles aquí el resumen, para los que están aquí hablando español, buscando ventas con oro, igualmente similar, podría ser australiano, podría ser neozelandés. Y después tenemos potencial de compras con Dow Jones o ventas con NASDAQ. Todas estas ideas están aquí en la comunidad, igualmente que pues aquí las vamos a estar haciendo en vivo. Omar, hey man, play your game. You know, whatever. If 5-minute setups have a good enough probability for you and you're back testing, then do it. You know, like at the end of the day, my role is not. Okay, so my thought process when going live is showing you how I go about qualifying ideas, managing emotions, doing execution. It's not necessarily to turn you into how I trade, right? It's all about how you can perceive the market. So the reason I do what I do is because I have the data behind it, and I have the confidence because I have the evidence. So that's why I do it. And if you already did that too for your entry or exit model or management, then follow it. That's my role on why, and that's why I like to trade like this every day, literally for 8 years now in live, is because this will just almost give you the perspective of, okay, this is how I manage and execute just based on my plan. You don't have to copy me, because at the end of the day, you may not be able to follow what I follow because you don't have the same conviction behind it. But if you do have conviction behind what you do, then follow that. Would you be down to share your strategies like simplified? That's the whole point of the Smart Money Playbook. Just join the community, go into the classroom section. So just click, go here, and then go here, then go here, and then go through this. This is the one. If you're newer, then start at the Trader's Launchpad. And then if you're coachable, then start at the Welcome to Tradetopia. All right. And now we wait. Let's see. We're about a minute out from this. This, with my experience, this gold buy would possibly hit a 1-to-1 and continue selling. If that's your exit and you're good with that, follow it. Thoughts on EU? Let's see. Euro. What I've thought about them before. I've thought about Euro. I'm not thinking about Euro though. Yeah, I think Euro is going to clear the highs. If we get the pump, it's going to just go past this. It's already way more bullish than Australian or New Zealand. And then what I'm curious about is the other side of the coin is if it doesn't pump. If it doesn't pump, then the 5-minute on GU is bullish, but not the 15 yet. So I wonder if this would hold up, because GU could do one of these guys. You know, do something like this. All right, Trump, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? You see better now, the shot on 3,400. Seeing our last signals, I haven't sent signals. I thought we were watching gold come up to 3480 was too ambitious. What do you think about that zone on 4-hour chart? 3480. Let's see. 3480. It just didn't get to this zone and it mitigated. So you saw how it pumped here. Huge move. It was like 780 pips. It already did that. So it just didn't get there. Now we got well over 1,200 pip drop. So it closed this out. It didn't get to that zone. And we move on. You guys got to learn to let go. Let go of the trades. Maybe it gets back here later, but it's kind of irrelevant at this point. We're seeing distribution on this side now. Okay. So when we have like these 9 a.m. or whatever time, the speaking events, it's not always going to be just instant. Like it's not like here's a data point, and then the market just go crazy. You know, it's like the press conferences. They start saying things, speech goes on, and then whatever happens. And as you notice, I'm not listening to whatever Trump is saying. For me, that doesn't really matter, because all of this is already programmed to do what it's going to do. And that's the whole point of us identifying where there's bigger positions, pockets of money in the market, because we should be seeing exchanges of money in these areas. Yep. Yeah, Puccini. So that gold reacted out of, instead of that high, that extreme, it just played out at a lower level within that zone. Bullish NAS EQ highs. Equal highs? I don't really see equal highs. I see this cleared up here. This doesn't look like equal highs to me, unless I zoom out and I miss something, which is possible. No, this isn't equal either. I'm not seeing them as equal highs at the moment. This still looks, for me, this still looks like the valid sell. Okay, steady with the dollar so far, nothing crazy. I think Omar, looks like your area is kind of approaching. Honestly, like I said, that could play out. It's just not my trade to take. Okay, so we're seeing, let's switch over. I'm going to skip ahead. Natural gas, let me just, I don't know why I haven't switched that on my watch list yet. It's ripping. GG's. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Someone asked about natural gas. It did a distribution right here. Play it out of the sell. Just like that. Omar. Oh, there's Omar and Omar Lopez. Oh, man. Going down with the Omars right now. Oil. So y'all, I think I heard a trade for 60, a short. This is what I was hearing here. A little pump, a little drop. Interesting. I feel like I like a buy over here better. So we saw a sweep of the high. It's cleared out a pretty good amount of liquidity. Got to right there. Efficient. Very nice. Okay. From there, we see... So we see a pickup right here. Oh, here comes Bob Proctor. Hold up. I don't know how you do this. Anyone else just like their Apple Music just like randomly just turns on? Huh? Set what up? No, like Apple Music just turns on. Hey Mike, if you like to trade indices, should you try CFDs or futures? If you want to, I honestly, I'd say probably futures, especially if you're in the U.S. You have more resources, more opportunities. So, like, trading futures is really easy. I mean, and you still have CFDs, prop firms that you can trade futures. You can do either or. If that's your focus, yeah, you really can't go wrong. I'd say just whatever you're more comfortable trading with, whatever, like, if you prefer the trading platforms on either or, I do both. It's not really one or the other. I'd say it's just a preference at this point. If you want to do it regulated, then you have to do it through futures. If you want to trade your own money, so because you can't trade indices like on CFDs, at least not regulated. And then not that unregulated is necessarily bad. It's just, the chance. I don't know if There's just so many trash brokers. So you just gotta deal with that. We need more Omars in the chat. Nice. So I see the sell idea here on oil. Oil for me, I don't have a good track record counter trend trading oil. So I prefer kind of just going with the flow with oil. So I'd rather buy. But also we see it sweep here and then it failed to make a higher high on the 1 hour. Go either way. I'm good on it. Just a feeling, to be honest. And at this point, almost 10 years in, I kind of trust that instinctive, like, I don't love it for whatever reasons it might be. And then I just choose to stay out. So I think I'd rather kind of wait it out, especially if we're looking at so many different asset classes. you don't necessarily need to be involved in everything, and you have your leverage is that you get to qualify. You get to say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll give this a little bit of my money. Or you go, it's not even it. Hey, Mike, if a trade taps into the mitigation zone before dropping and returning to it, does that make the trade invalid? If a trade taps into the mitigation zone before dropping and returning to it, does it make the trade invalid? Can you give me an example? Okay. So slow burner on AUD and NZD, nothing too significant. We're now starting to see the drop with indices finally. So clearly NQ here, NASDAQ is pushing along a little bit more aggressive. We'll use the fib tool to measure this with more precision on the depth of the retracement. So about 618, 50% pullback. And then we look at Dow Jones, and we got, actually they're pretty similar, huh? It seems like they're similar in the overall higher time frame. So we'll just wait and see what price action looks like by the time we get down to this level. They just added CAD red folder 11 a.m. CST. Man, I got a whole team here. Got resources, we got fundamental. Just scoping it out. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all going, this is a team effort here. If that joint touches 786 on the fib, it's going. Frank Sinatra, fly me to the moon. Yo, Vaughn, that's so funny, bro. I like that. Okay. I don't really see CAD setups, though, so I guess it doesn't really change anything for me. But that's good to know. Gold leaving without you. It just wasn't meant for you, I guess. What do you mean more resources on futures? With indices? By more resources, I just mean like you can trade with more prop firms. They're more regulated. The chances of you actually keeping your money or getting it is higher. And then, like I said, there's regulated brokers. Yeah, you need more capital though to trade every day, so you might be limited, but it's still worth it in my opinion. What's up, Theo? Got Theo in here. All right, Dow is starting to push down. Curious. We're getting closer and closer, though. I wonder how long it's going to take for this to actually do what we need it to do. And then, all right, so oil starting to poke into this. I'll keep my eye on it. I'm not going to take anything here, but it'll be there. What's up, Xavier? Dímelo. Chris Marin, what's up? How's it going? How's it going? When is the situation you avoid red folder news? No, I don't. I'm never avoiding red folder news. I want red folder news. I'm inviting red folder news. I encourage more red folder news. If it taps the zone and drops the same size of the zone using the measuring tool on the zone, then it's considered mitigated. If it doesn't drop out that far, it's generally still valid. Thank you, Seth. Appreciate you helping out here. Red folders pay the Lambo. What's up, Juicino? What's good, bro? We got Papi Chulo in here. Savage Trader in the house. Bitcoin, at least on Coinbase, looks like it missed 100K by like 80 pips. Maybe it hit on Binance or something. Maybe it hit on futures as well. I'm not sure. No, missed there. Let's see. Bitcoin futures, did it hit? Oh, yeah. Okay. Bitcoin futures usually like 500 pips above Bitcoin price. Gotta add in that little spread, you know. Both indices approaching. The hills are goated for sure. Okay. Oh, this is melting. Whee! Guys, suddenly NASDAQ. Parece que NASDAQ va a ser el comprador. Okay, so let me get my contract sizes here. Let's double down. Make sure we're good on this end. All right, so my entry will be... Okay, so let's see here. If it's going to be NAS, let's get a little more detail. Zoom in a little bit here. So we've seen there's been some support way down here, and then there's been a bit of resistance. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay. So you see if you look at kind of how price action was over here, there's resistance right around that 886. And then we've seen, again, here's resistance, support, resistance. So these are all kind of key levels. So in reality, I think 886 or under is kind of the key entry area for NQ if NQ ends up being the lagging setup here. So basically 886 and under, I like for the play. I'm going to take my position at around 19,957. So I'm going to look to take it here. Got an imbalance. We have this, we've seen more support around this zone. So it looks like quality to me. And then running with momentum here, minimum, I see an easy 3R, if not more. And then we can zoom out a little bit here as well. And taking a look at this, in reality, the market is actually pretty efficient. So if we're going to keep running with momentum and just ripping bullish, then we're running with the trend. So we don't really need to necessarily just trade within the structure. This is the highest probability exit. So I'll just mark this as the high probability exit here. So let's make this text here. It's a high probability exit, 3RR. And it's not high probability because of the risk reward. It's high probability because of the price action. However, because of how it's all moved along and how I think we still can go even further, we may end up going even beyond this. So the next area where I think we can get some interesting reversals would be here, the next level of imbalance. So this is kind of what I'm liking for intraday. If you look back in the past, the market loves to just pump. Like it just kind of goes through and comes back. So it's pretty fluid. It might take a few hours, but looks like it's playing out nicely. However, Dow Jones is still in the mix. So we could still have a position here with Dow. And then if it's going to be Dow that works its way down, then if let's say that is going to be the case, and you'd rather go, you know what, let's say, for example, whenever this comes back down, we prefer something over here, let's say 41,175. The reason I'm not going for lower entries here, so we got this, like something like this, right? About under a 50-point stop, which is fantastic. I'm not going for a super, super deep pullback just because we've already seen, like this would be going way beyond an 886, which is still fantastic. So any entries behind 886 give you really a lot of room to to make some pretty good risk reward. Not that you need to stretch it so far, but since we're going with the momentum, it's not the worst case in the world. So taking it to around here still feels pretty good. And we'll give it time. We'll give it time to do its thing. So we got alerts. I'll set another alert just so that we can look at other things, and once it breaks this low again, we can kind of be dialed in. Now, looking at these other currency pairs, they're chilling, nothing too aggressive. Maybe it plays out in this New York session. Maybe it plays out later. And then when it comes to Bitcoin, the buys look like we'd have to drop quite a bit to buy anything, and then I'm not looking to sell anything either. And as I looked at this yesterday, in terms of major reversals, just like I said yesterday, there's nothing really in the way. Everything is efficient up until like 104,600. Literally everything here has been mitigated, has been rebalanced, everything. So I don't really see why we would get big reversals yet. It's just not. There's not really a reason. So if you sold your crypto, then that fucking sucks. I get it. It's not easy to hold and question your identity in your life and your financial decisions, but shit, man. You know, you just gotta learn. But if you've been plugging in here with me, then at no point did we really lose any conviction whatsoever behind this. And we've been talking about it ever since November, and we started to see this rip. We knew, like, at some point we're going to have to rebalance this. And that's it. And when we were hitting distribution around here, I didn't sell everything, definitely not. But took some. And then as we were in Bali, we had a stream and we talked about how Bitcoin wasn't quite getting to this level because we had the total market cap that was rebalancing. So Bitcoin wasn't as bearish as the rest of the altcoins. And those were the ones, like, if we combined all of the coins, this was what was getting really efficient. So that looks super solid. And it's looking even better. So if we look at everything outside of the Big 10 in the crypto space, they're still not quite going full throttle. So we're not even seeing that Bitcoin, that alt season type of movement quite yet. Bitcoin dominance is still steady on its way up. So maybe we see a shift soon, but that is still in the air. All right, what are these indices doing over here? Chilling. Not doing too much. Futures, gold futures. What are we looking at? Gold. How's this evolving? Kind of chilling too. So yeah, market's really, really calm. I'm not doing anything too crazy. And that basically covers it. You know, we don't really have to stay here forever and just talk for the sake of talking. I don't even monetize these live streams. Fuck. I ran too hard this morning. Huh? A tea? A tea sounds lovely. Yeah, I don't even monetize these things. Because throwing an ad in the middle of a trading stream seems like, especially because we're doing a New York session. If it was like in the evening, then it maybe, but even then, I don't even think it'd be that significant. I feel like it just kind of killed the momentum. What's up, Raul? Was good. US30 buy activated? Not for me. Not even close. Good job though. If it did for you, then yo, hey, food on Chris today. Let's go. Chris is paying for everybody. I haven't checked yet, but have you made the contract size video by any chance? My brother, 0 chance yet. Futures contract sizes for y'all? Morning. Hodl, buy more dog. I've been just stacking dog. The whole gang here is stacking dog. Let's go. The only meme you need in your portfolio, for sure. Oh, damn. Memes are up today. VRA, 30% up today. KeyCat 20, Ski 20, Virtual 17. If y'all need an AI coin, if like you want to really have one that I think is going to kill it, because this is like the AI agents for crypto, Virtual is so fire. Even now, it's still a steal. Brett, 17% up today. FIDA, which is basically SNS, up. I think they're doing an airdrop soon, right? If I'm not mistaken. Pepe up 14% on the day. Injective 10. IMX 9. ETH 9. The fact that Ethereum is moving at all. Wow. People can breathe. Okay. Yeah. Bonk. Shout out Soul for the Soul vibes. Ondo, RWA. I mean, everything's moving nice. XRP up 4%. Nice. Very nice. So here's, excuse me. So tonight, guys, remember, I'm not going to do a deep dive personally right now, but we do have crypto analysis in this very beautiful, it's a nice image here, with Nancy. So she's going to be doing a breakdown tonight at 8 p.m. Chicago time on the crypto market. Going to be doing a deep dive. Any specific topics for today? Just technical analysis overall, short-term, long-term projections. So hop on there. That's going to be a Zoom call. So it'll be a lot more, kind of more interactive, more engaging, you know. And so, yeah, you guys click the community right over there, and then you guys can go and get locked in for sure. They're still waiting on Trump announcement. Oh, did Trump not pull up? Oh, that's funny. Okay, so look, guys, and it sounded like I was about to leave, right? And I think we're about to wrap up. But to give you more context, now Dow is trading still up here at a 50%. So if it stays like this, then Dow might be what reaches this zone last. So always just kind of, you know, adapt to what the market's giving you. Don't get stuck on what you want or what you thought. Just adapt to whatever it shows you, okay? If you do that, you're going to be good. Is it in this same place for Nancy? Dan, you're really smart, bro. I know this. Click the join free community button that's pinned to the top, my brother. Up here. Click that. Click that link. Get in there. And then how can you learn more about crypto? Nance did a whole like boot camp. So we'll upload that here to the classroom. So you guys we'll have a crypto section in here. It's like probably by today. And then otherwise, she has a YouTube channel. So you can go to hers. Let me go pull that up for you guys. And she did like a basically ABC full breakdown. I think it's like how many videos? It's like 8 videos, right? It's like a whole, yeah, it's a whole thing. I think I froze. Oh, we're back. All right, one sec. Oh, yeah. All right, one sec. Here we go. Let's see, where is this thing? Videos. So it's a playlist, right? No, in the on your YouTube channel.
It's under lives.
Isn't it just in Spanish? I don't. Yeah, you don't have this here in English. Yeah. All right. Well, join the classroom. Click that link. We'll get that uploaded in English and Spanish, and then you guys can enjoy. Buen provecho. Let's see. Outside of that, I think we're good. Looks like dollar's just slowing down, waiting on Trump to do Trump stuff. And then will the Zoom be recorded? Yes. Yes, it will. To confirm, the odd and NZD trades take the one that gets there last. Absolutely. Looks like what, Roxy? Yeah. Guys, much love. Click the like button. Subscribe to your boy. Mike, are you putting your Smart Money Simplified Bootcamp in there? I mean, basically, that's what I made in here, a version of it. So I don't know if you've seen the Smart Money Playbook, but there's basically a more simplified version of the simplified version in here. I think so. I have to double check when I recorded this. But yeah, I mean, there's more and more coming, guys. Like, remember, everything that we did here was pretty quick in transition. And we have a lot more coming. So for now, enjoy the vault that I have all those favorite sessions that were like 130 videos. It takes some time. I want to redo a lot of those because they're just really old. I was exhausted for a lot of those and fat. So, I want to just up the quality and make sure you guys get what you deserve and make it so that when you look at it, you're not like, oh, why do I got to look at this guy? When is it? Okay, so guys, if you are in Chicago, we have an in-person meetup next Saturday, May 17th. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, fill out this form so we can reach out with the details. All right, so click that right there. Oh, wait, you can't see it. That's hilarious. There we go. Now, right over there, over here, click that link. And we're meeting up, do a little breakdown. It's going to be sick. According to the map, which is so sick, we got people everywhere. Check us out. So we're excited to get out to Europe in the summer. But apparently there's like 60 of you in the Chicagoland area. Or maybe like 50. Yeah, like right around here. So you guys are here. Pull up. Be a meetup. It's not like going to be a whole full stage and a workshop, but we're just going to go through some things, get specific, get more hands-on. But cool. That's it. That's it for me, guys. Much love. The map is dope. And as, Tradetopia, Chicago, Tradetopia, Belgium, Tradetopia, Netherlands, as it all grows, we'll be able to go and kind of set things up, definitely more formal things and, just be able to really connect with you guys over time. So what about Cali? When is the next meet? We will let you know when we know. All right. Much love, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.